Lindsay. I'm going to do a Divine Partners reading. As always, if any of these messages don't feel like they are aligned for you, please take only what you need and leave the rest. We'll do a quick blessing of the cards. I ask that any and all messages that come through the cards come through with clarity and understanding for all those involved and for their highest good at this point in time only, Spirit. Okay, let's get into it. I was going to start with my other deck, but we're going to start with the Kyle Gray one because I'm getting drawn to that one. So, always go with the intuition. Divine partners, what is happening? We will check in. Let's see who is coming up first. Divine feminine. So we'll do, oh, yep, that one flew out. So it's definitely the right route. Thoth, light codes, light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic. So the divine feminine is coming into her own. She's becoming a mentor. She is moving into a space where she is the teacher. For those divine feminines who have been working on themselves for an extended period of time, it's that mentorship space. You are ready to mentor others. You are ready to help others. You're ready to show up in that way. So there are a lot of connections coming in for the divine feminine right now around people that she is supposed to meet and help and or guide, but not necessarily guide in a way that, you know, you must do this or this. It's more of guiding through her own actions and the way she shows up in the world, in her earth base chakra, strength and security, laying the foundations. I'm also getting this desire for homemaking around the divine feminine, and that has to do with grounding this energy, because if you are going to be out in the world teaching and helping others along their own paths, you need your own form of grounding. And I think that nourishing, that decorating, that safety of home is very important right now, because it helps the divine feminine reconnect with herself after connecting with others. Soul star activation. Divine feminine is fulfilling soul contracts. So much of this is in the way of romantic soul contracts or karmic soul contracts. So karmic soul contracts are not necessarily divine partner contracts. They are the ones that teach us often through difficulty. So relationships that we end up being in where we learn more about ourselves. We fulfill some lesson, and then we move along. Karmic relationships are not meant to be forever. They are about learning in a lesson and up-leveling for one or both parties. And so there is this realization where the divine feminine is becoming aware of what relationships in her life have been karmic, if she is not already aware. And that makes space and sets the tone for those soul contracts that are divine partnerships. So divine partnerships are equal. They are equally yoked partnerships. They are people who have both done their work and are meeting at the same level. And in order to get there, many of those divine partners have to have gone through karmic relationships, not just one, but multiple karmic relationships. And this doesn't just have to be romantic. It can also be karmic friendships as well. So we learn through friendships, you know, how we should be treated and how we need to show up for ourselves and others. Just the same as romantic partnerships, right? It's all a give and take. Divine Feminine, what is happening? Divine Feminine, what is happening right now? Let's check in. I'm almost getting like this giggling energy, like this laughing energy. Like she's lit up because she's on her path and she knows she's on her path. She's aware of that. So it's like this magic in the air around the Divine Feminine where she's feeling very lighthearted. And the people that she's coming into contact with, not just the ones that she will be mentoring, but, you know, on the day to day, they're feeling that energy and they're finding Divine Feminine very attractive, right? It's that spark of life. Solar light upgrade, yes. Solar plexus, inner fire, and willpower. So Divine Feminine is very much feeling her spark of life right now and is invigorated by it and is ready to go out in the world and help others and help herself and upgrade, up level. Let's see what else is happening. We're going to go into the traditional tarot deck and see what else is showing up for the Divine Feminine. There's something Divine Feminine about working with goddesses, specifically to your lineage, so to your ancestral lineage. For me, what's coming up right now is working in the Celtic cross, which is not a traditional, you know, how do I say this? It's not traditional to the Celts, but it was made with them in mind. And so it's almost like the way it's coming through on my personal lineage is working, you know, through the Celtic lineage and weaving that through the day to day and, you know, the essence of that lineage. And for the Divine Feminine, number 18, the moon, in your own lineage, whatever that is, whether you know it or not, Divine Feminine, I'm getting weaving the essence of your lineage through your day to day, brushing up against it, and connecting with the ancestors is really important right now. So even if you don't know, say you're adopted, or, you know, there was separation or there was a break in the lineage of your ancestors, you can simply ask them to give you signs and push you in the right direction on, you know, how do you go forth and working with them. Sorry, there's a really loud sound in the background. I'm not entirely sure what that is. You know, just voicing, saying, I wish to connect with you and I wish to understand my ancestral lineage more deeply. Please point me in the direction where I can and will. Bring me to the people who would help me to do so. And you may find yourself connecting with people who are of a certain lineage, who are of a certain ancestry, and that's your ancestors guiding you, right? So I definitely feel that for the Divine Feminine at this point. I also feel it for the Divine Masculine as well. If you know, have wanted to connect with your ancestry, now is the time to open up that dialogue. And in the way that I pursue that in my own life, I have conversation with them. You know, conversate with them like they're in the room with you. Talk to them. Because even if they can't listen or answer back on a level that you understand verbally, they will answer back energetically because they're always around us. They're always within us. They're in our very genetic makeup. They are in our physical DNA. So we are never not without them or their guidance or their wisdom. Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. And there's this immense love that I'm getting coming through the ancestry right now for you. It's like they love you so much and they just want you to succeed. And that's for both parties. They want you to succeed. 9 of Pentacles at life. They want to see you grow. Because remember, when you succeed in your life, when you are lifted up in your life, are also lifted up. You know, if your ancestors had difficulty, and all of our ancestors did in various ways and places, you know, it's a struggle to survive, and historically it has been a struggle for many people. So I think that, you know, in your successes, you are helping them to be successful, and that brings them joy. And that's again that spark that I'm getting for the divine feminine specifically is that energetic physical spark. It's part of that lineage lighting up. Knight of Pentacles. See? Look at how happy he is. This is like almost a grandfather figure, but look at, we're talking about that spark, that light that's coming in divine feminine. And in some ways for the divine masculine as well. There's also something coming in with like, and this may be me reading for myself because occasionally I do pick up my own information, but I'm getting like druid. So druidic teachings, the Celtic teachings, the druids were the carriers of the spoken word. They were the storytellers. They were the ones who showed up and shared story with the people, and they would go from place to place, and they would share a story, and they would be fed and clothed and housed in exchange for keeping the story alive. That was their work, that was their sole purpose. And so if you are a storyteller, as I am, if you are someone who finds fulfillment in telling a story or speaking or in that type of way, you know, follow your lineage in that way. And it wasn't just the Celts, obviously, who were, you know, spoken word. Most all ancestors, before the written word, it was spoken. So in your own ancestral lineage, connect with the speaking of the word. And for some of you, that very much may be speaking the language of your ancestors, you know, prior to colonization, whatever that is. So for me, that is Scottish Gaelic and Irish somewhat, but Scottish. And I have tried a little bit. It's an incredibly difficult language to learn. But even just trying to form those words, trying to speak the language is you connecting. Okay, so we're getting really deeply into the ancestry line. Let's get back to the connection between divine feminine and divine masculine. And I want to check in with the divine masculine on where they are at, where they are showing up their blue. I'm getting their blue. Why are we blue, divine masculine? What's happening? They have a little bit of a heavy heart. Okay. A little bit of a heavy heart. I am getting tears, which I think I got in the last one, divine masculine. Page of Swords. And how do you get out of that heavy heart? How do you lift yourself out? You learn, you teach yourself, you do something new. You give yourself something to follow through with, divine masculine. I think this is because you're separated. That's what I'm getting. You have a heavy heart because you are in separation with your divine feminine. And it's coming through emotionally as that heavy heart. You are blue. Blue moon, right? Blue moon. You saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. I'll put that song in the description. For you, divine masculine, the road out of this blue heart is not paved, it's rocky, it's rugged, but it is guided towards learning. It is guided towards a purpose. So if you can find a purpose within yourself, within your life, something that lights you up just as much as the divine feminine is lit up, you have that path out of that blue heart, and you also have a path energetically closer to your divine partnership, because then you are moving in the same direction. You're at the same wavelength that she is at, right? So purpose. Find a purpose, divine masculine. And I'm not talking just about work. I'm talking about your soul purpose, those things that light you up, those things that make you want to wake up in the morning. What is your soul purpose, divine masculine? This is beyond divine partnership, because, you know, having your own purpose makes you a better partner, but it also drives you on your own path. So what is the thing that lights your soul up, divine masculine? Let's see if we get any more cards. I'm mainly channeling this one, so I'm not getting a whole ton of cards. It's very much channeled messages at this time. Let's see. Divine masculine, any information. You know, it's strange because I'm seeing a checkerboard. I don't know what that means. The wheel. I had this in my most recent reading for the water signs. If you are a water sign, please go watch that, because that would pertain to you. It's almost like you are trying to not play a game, but, well, okay, yes, play a game, but play the game right. You're trying to make the smartest moves, divine masculine, and you've gotten to a point where you're not making any moves because you're scared of making the wrong move. Okay, so I would ask, you know, stop thinking of it as a game and start thinking of as a path towards your own purpose, because that's how you get out of the game mindset. Because in the game mindset, you have to solve the game, right? You have to work it out. You have to make it make sense. But if it's no longer a game and you're just walking a path, then you don't have to make it make sense. 8 of Wands. There's also something for you in getting out into community. You need community very badly right now, divine masculine. And not just any community. You need other men around you, other masculines around you who are at the level that you want to be at and or are at. So these are masculines who are showing up in a healthy way for themselves and the people around them. So I definitely think you should be seeking out community, men's groups and things like that, to get you out of this blue state that you're in as well. Okay, let's look at the connection a little bit. Divine connection. What is coming through for divine connection? Oh, my hand is like cramping up. Holding on tight. Holding on tight. Knight of Swords. He's ready to get on his motorbike. He's ready to get on his motorbike and go to his feminine. Okay. So if you are, then do it. I mean, cut the cord. You'll know or you won't know, right? I think you can't know how you're going to be received, divine masculine, if they actually do something. And you will know with the right timing on this one as well. It'll become clear to you. If you are in separation, 6 of Pentacles. When you have something to offer yourself, when you have a purpose for yourself, divine masculine, you also have something to offer your divine feminine. And I think that's part of what it is. You want to come in feeling like you have something to offer her. And not just something, but everything. And that's why you're scared to make any moves, because you don't feel prepared. Because again, the divine feminine is lit up. She's fulfilled, and again, this message is coming through. Like, how can I give someone who has everything, anything? What do I have to give? And so that's part of making this move, is you have your purpose. You have your purpose. Because when you're giving to the divine feminine in connection, you are also giving to the world. You're helping that. You know, you're showing up for yourself, your partner, and the greater collective when you are showing up. It just requires you to find purpose and get out of your blue heart, blue moon phase, right? Well, that's what I'm getting for the Divine Partners reading. Again, my name is Lindsey Rose. This is Storyteller Tarot. If this was helpful or insightful for you, please like, comment, or subscribe. I love to receive feedback. And I wish you all well.